This is the cover, man. This is the cover. So these four are in the top 12, by the way. Hugo Lloris, Son Heung-min, Michael Dawson, and Ledley King. And my personal opinion is that absolutely three of those would not be in the calendar, let alone the cover. Look, Ledley King, he won the League Cup. We'll give him that, right? So that's three. I mean, this is the cover, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand it apart from maybe that Michael Dawson is still paid by the club or something. So is Ledley, I think. But it's weird to me that you're saying this is the greatest captains and three of them have won nothing. But there you go. I'm not saying they were bad. Don't get me. I'm not here to slam captains. I would never do that. But when you're talking about the best of the best, the greatest of the greatest, there's I can't reach over. My hand cuts off. But there's three there that I definitely don't reckon should be in there, man. You know, what do you reckon of that? Am I being out of line here? Am I being ridiculous? I mean, I know I'm being ridiculous. I'm trying to generate a storm in a teacup. I mean, ultimately, it don't really matter that much, does it? But I just think, you know, from a historical point of view, this ain't right. This ain't right. And our club was not founded in the year 2000, was it? Or maybe some people think it was. I think it's outrageous, actually. And it'd be a case of, okay, maybe you have pictures on there of people that the younger fans don't recognise. Well, maybe it would entice them to find out who the bloody hell they are and what they did. So we got January, Dave Mackay. Definitely, of course. I don't think there's a player that's ever played for Tottenham Hotspur that wouldn't have Dave Mackay on their list. I remember there's a you can see this on YouTube. There's a training video of Spurs prior to the '67 FA Cup final, and their training was actually quite interesting. And Dave Mackay says, "Yeah, this is it's a good team, but we haven't won anything yet." And this is like just 6 years after the double, or 5 years after their last FA Cup is a different enough team that he says, "No, we haven't won anything yet." Dave Mackay, man, what standards? What high standards? In February, we got Steve Perryman, a friend of the show, Steve Perryman, and my personal favourite captain. Had his poster on my wall. Steve Perryman, our most decorated player, over 800 appearances, 6 trophies. Got to be in there, no doubt about it. Ledley King, look, I'll give him that one because he did win a trophy. I don't know if I put him in my greatest captains, but I really, there's 3 slots that I would replace, and so I'll leave Ledley King in there. Alf Ramsey, well, I suppose why not, Not sure why he's in there as captain, but as a captain, I don't know, man. But I suppose that might be just because he managed the 1966 World Cup team to victory. Danny Blanchflower, of course, Danny Blanchflower's got to be in there. Alan Mullery, another class act. I mean, you look at some of these guys, man. Bloody hell, these are giants of football, not just the Tottenham Hotspur. Alan Mullery, Martin Peters. I mean, he's got to be in there as well. Not sure when the crossover between Mullery and Peters was, but I'm sure Peters would probably won a League Cup. I don't think he was captain for the UEFA Cup. I think that was Mullery maybe. But still, Martin Peters, and of course he scored a goal in the World Cup final, so stick him in there. Gary Mabbott, captain for 11 years. Like, we were lucky. I was lucky as a growing Spurs fan, because all I really knew was Steve Perryman, and he was captain for 11 years, and then Gary Mabbott was captain for 11 years. Lifted the FA Cup, why not? Brilliant. And he was captain while we were, not what we were. So he got through. He got Spurs through a bit of a decline and still managed to get some success with us as well. So Gary Mabbott's got to be in there. Ron Burgess, absolutely has to be in there. 51 captain, and then the bottom 3. This is where I have an issue. So no problem so far. The bottom 3, though, Michael Dawson, Heung-min Son, and Hugo Lloris, I've issues with. So could you guess who I would replace those three with? And there's three obvious names to me. Sundeep Patel is bang on the money with my first pick, Bobby Buckle. Apart from the fact of having the coolest name on the planet, he was like our founding captain. You can't have the greatest captains without Bobby Buckle bloody well being on it. He was the first. He's got to be in there. Of course he's got to be in there. Bobby Buckle. Well done, Sundeep Patel. I mean, Michael Dawson, what the fuck did it... I mean, look, I'm not... He seems like a good guy and all that, but... Where's the winners' medals, you know? And I'm sure he's a decent captain and all that, but we're talking about the greatest Tottenham captains. That's what the calendar says. Greatest. Not, hey, he did all right. He was good. I liked him. No, greatest. Oh, now, Gary Huggins, Arthur Rowe, Bobby Smith. I mean, they're good shouts as well, man. Maybe we could replace some others in there. But, no, for me, I would replace Dawson, Son, and Lloris. I would replace it with Bobby Buckle, Jack Jones, who was captain when we won the FA Cup in 1901 as a non-league team. John Cameron was player manager. This is interesting. It's weird, like, because John Cameron was a player manager, but Jack Jones was the captain. So Jack Jones has got to be FA Cup 1901, and he's not in there in a non-league team. He captained a non-league team to win the FA Cup. He's got to be in there. So Bobby Buckle, Jack Jones. Hang on, my phone's... And then the 1921 FA Cup. Arthur Grimsdale. Grimsdale's got to be in there as well. And I know those pictures might be all black and white, funny moustaches, flat caps. That's the greatest, though. That's the greatest. Of course, Perriman's in there. He got February. Oh, I can't point at it. He got February, but he wasn't on the cover, which is bullshit. There we go. I mean, there's some great names in there. Fantastic. I mean, look at their history, man. But the history's not complete because it's weighted to after a certain person bought the club, if you know what I mean. There's some people in there that didn't win anything. And there's people that should be in there that did win stuff. And you've got to have our first captain. You've got to have Bobby Buckle in there. You can't have Bobby Buckle in there. You've got to have Jack Jones captaining us to the FA Cup when we weren't even in the Football League. Michael Dawson? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Michael Dawson's shit or a knob or anything like that, but this is, look, greatest captains. Greatest. Michael Dawson is not one of the greatest. He's good. Hey, good. Not too shabby. You know? But you've got to have Bobby Buckle in there. Bobby Buckle. There you go. Why isn't he in there? Look at this dude. Our founding captain. Look at him. Brilliant. 1882. Bobby Buckle. Michael Dawson, fuck off. I mean, I don't mean that, like, but you know what I mean.